Are you thinking about moving to Fargo, North Dakota? If so, have you considered finding a home on the Minnesota side of the river? One of the best things about our area is that it sits right on the North Dakota and Minnesota border. So when you're moving to or around here, you get to decide which state makes the most sense for you based on a number of factors. I live on the Minnesota side of the river, but my family and I have talked about moving over to North Dakota, and honestly, there are some real pros and cons to both sides. So today, we're breaking down everything you need to know before you decide which side of the river to call home. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure to tap the bell and hit subscribe so you're the first to know about all things going on in or around Fargo, North Dakota. I'm Megan Oye with Realty Experts, and every day I talk to people just like you. So whether you're 9 days, 90 days, or 9 months from your move to or around Fargo, North Dakota, I'm here to help make that a smooth transition. All of my contact information is listed in the description below. Please feel free to reach out in whatever way is most comfortable for you. Okay, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, money. Whether you're moving for a job, family, or just better snow removal, your wallet gets a vote. Surprisingly, not many people ask me about state income taxes when they're moving into our area. But I think it is one of the biggest differences between North Dakota and Minnesota. Let's break down what you can expect depending on which side of the river you call home. Now, full disclosure, I am not a tax expert. I am a real estate agent. This is a quick summary based on the official state pages in the description. Always double check your specific situation with the state pages or a CPA. Links are below. North Dakota has very low state income taxes. For the tax year of 2025, North Dakota used 3 brackets: a 0% bracket at lower incomes, a middle bracket at 1.95%, and a top bracket at 2.5%. That means many people, especially single filers under roughly the low to mid 5 figures, may pay no state income tax. For details and exact thresholds by filing status, see the North Dakota Office of State Tax Commissioner. Minnesota starts at a higher rate. The state's 2025 tables show the lowest bracket at 5.35%, with higher brackets up to 9.85% for top earners. That higher starting point is a key difference for many households. See the Minnesota Department of Revenue for the 2025 brackets. Here's the real takeaway. If your priority is low or no state income tax, North Dakota is the clear winner for most. Minnesota has higher rates, but it also funds more statewide programs, schools, and credits, like a homestead credit, which can reduce your actual tax bill for your home. One of the biggest questions people ask, or actually don't ask enough when moving to our area, is about property taxes. And here's the thing, they're not just different between Minnesota and North Dakota. They can be very different depending on the city you live in. In general, property taxes in Minnesota tend to be a bit higher than North Dakota. That's mostly because Minnesota's system relies more on local levies, meaning cities and school districts collecting a larger share, while North Dakota's state government provides more direct funding to local entities, which helps keep their rates a little bit lower. But before you start celebrating lower taxes on the North Dakota side, Minnesota has more homeowner credits and refunds that can sometimes offset the difference depending on your income and home value. North Dakota, on the other hand, keeps things a little simpler. So it's not as simple as saying one side is cheaper. It really depends on where you live, what your home is worth, and which programs you qualify for. For example, Moorhead's property taxes are noticeably higher than Fargo's on similar home value. But when you factor in state refunds, it might even out a little bit. Or it might not, depending on your situation. And just so we're clear, I am not a tax expert. I'm just your friendly real estate agent giving you the snapshot version. If I was a tax expert, I'd probably be making a lot less exciting videos. So definitely talk to your tax professional or check out the links in my description to run your own numbers. All right, now let's talk about those sneaky hidden costs. Sales tax. You might not think about it until you're standing at the checkout, but it adds up fast. especially if you've got a target problem like me. In North Dakota, the state sales tax rate is 5%, and local cities like Fargo can add up to about 2.5% more, bringing the total up to roughly 7.5%. Not bad compared to a lot of states. Now, over in Minnesota, things are a little higher. The state rate is 6.875%, and local taxes like in Moorhead can push it closer to 7.375%. But here's the fun twist. Minnesota doesn't tax on groceries or clothing. So if you've got kids or you just really love a good shopping trip, that can be a huge money saver. Now, I could go on forever about every little tax credit and incentive, but let's keep it simple with a quick snapshot of other things you might want to know about. North Dakota offers business tax credits, some incentives for renewable energy, and a few family-focused programs like childcare credits and support through state family leave programs. Minnesota also has business grants like the Promise Act, incentives for clean energy, plus family and children-focused programs including childcare cost assistance, children's trust funds, and more robust family leave policies. Basically, both states have a lot to offer beyond just property tax, income tax, and sales tax. North Dakota is often simpler and lower cost, while Minnesota provides more structured programs and credits that can help families. Now, shifting from everyone's favorite topic of money onto everyone's least favorite topic, politics. I'm here to give you a quick summary of the differences because they are so very different. So very different. But don't worry, I'm not taking sides, just some quick facts. North Dakota tends to lean more conservative, while Minnesota leans a bit more liberal. What does that mean for you? Well, you might notice differences in things like city policies, local programs, community initiatives. But honestly, the biggest difference is probably what gets talked about at family dinners. There is beauty in the fact that both states are such polar opposites politically, but we still come together as one strong and supportive community. But yes, I'm changing the subject already. Another big factor for families moving to our area is schools and education. And both states do a great job, but they definitely have a different feel. On the North Dakota side, you've got Fargo, West Fargo, and Horace. Fargo Public Schools is the biggest, with around 11,000 students. It's well established and offers a ton of programs and extracurriculars. You'll find just about everything here. West Fargo has grown like crazy in the last decade and now has over 13,000 students. The schools are newer and the district has a really strong reputation for innovation and community involvement. Then there's Horace, which is smaller but benefits from that West Fargo school district and their growth. So you get newer buildings, smaller class sizes, and a close-knit community vibe. Now, on the Minnesota side, Moorhead Area Public Schools serves about 7,500 students. It's known for strong academics and smaller class sizes at the elementary level, plus they have a Spanish Immersion program that's been really popular with families who want their kids to grow up bilingual. For higher education, North Dakota has NDSU, which is a huge asset to our community. They've got standout programs in engineering, agriculture, business, and health sciences. And of course, you can't mention NDSU without giving a nod to the Bison football team because those championships speak for themselves. On the Minnesota side, there's Minnesota State University Moorhead and Concordia College. MSUM offers a great public university experience, and some Minnesota students may even qualify for free or reduced tuition through state programs. Concordia is a private liberal arts school, smaller class sizes, tight community, and a beautiful campus. So really, both sides take education seriously. It comes down to what kind of environment feels right for your family. Big and bustling, or small and a little more personal. Finally, let's talk about housing. Probably the thing most people think of first when moving to the FM area. Whether you're buying your first home, moving up, or downsizing, each side of the river offers a slightly different feel and price point. In Fargo's 58103 zip code, the median sales price is around $250,000. Move a little south into 58104, that jumps up to $375,000. West Fargo's median price is right in that same ballpark as South Fargo, while Horace comes in slightly lower, around $355,000. Right now, there are roughly 728 homes for sale between Fargo, West Fargo, and Horace. So there's plenty of inventory and variety to choose from. Over on the Minnesota side, Moorhead's median sales price sits at about $250,000, but there are only 174 homes currently on the market. So what does that mean for buyers? Well, you could look at this a couple of ways. Fargo, West Fargo, and Horace offer more options, which may mean more chances to find the right fit, but likely more competition. Moorhead, on the other hand, has a smaller market, which can make it feel a little tighter, fewer homes, but also likely fewer people shopping for them. At the end of the day, it's not so much about which side is better, it's about what kind of market you want to play in. If you like having choices, more newer developments, you'll probably lean North Dakota. If you prefer smaller town charm and less noise in the market, Minnesota might feel more like home. All right, before we wrap up, let's talk about a few things you really don't need to stress about when deciding which side of the river to live on. First up, commute times. No matter which side of the river you're on, traffic around here is, well, it's kind of adorable compared to big cities. You can get from one side of Moorhead way out into Horace in about 20 minutes. Maybe a little longer if it's snowing sideways, but still, nothing crazy. The majority of your commutes will take 15 minutes or less if you're traveling within the FM area. So while it's always nice to live close to work, commute times really aren't a huge deal here. It's one of the best perks of living in the FM area. Less time in traffic, more time actually living your life. Next, shopping and daily conveniences. Each city here is basically its own little community. You'll find grocery stores, restaurants, gyms, coffee shops nearby, no matter where you live. It's not like you're on one side of the river, you have to drive 25 minutes to get groceries. Everything is really well distributed. You've got Hornbachers, the Casey's, and probably a Caribou Coffee within a few blocks, no matter what zip code you're in. And finally, lifestyle and recreation. Whether you love a Saturday brewery tour, a morning at the farmer's market, or spending a sunny afternoon at the lake, both sides of the river have something going on. You can live in Moorhead and head to downtown Fargo for dinner, or live in Horace and pop over to Minnesota for a day at the lake. It's all so accessible. We're lucky that everything here is within reach. So that's a quick look at what to know before you decide which side of the river to call home. Both North Dakota and Minnesota have their perks and their quirks. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to your lifestyle, your budget, and what feels right for you. And remember, I am not a tax expert or a political analyst, just your friendly neighborhood real estate agent who's done way too much research for this video. So definitely check out the sources I've linked in the description if you want to dig a little deeper. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more Fargo Moorhead insights, and drop a comment below. I'd love to know which side of the river you would pick. We'll see you on the next one.